watching Let's Chat.
One of the true business success stories here in Chattanooga is that of the Stone Cup Coffee, which has now turned into the International Coffee Group. But the same lady's been heading this since day one, and it is Jennifer Stone. Jennifer, good to see you and welcome back.
Good morning, thank you.
Wow, you guys have reincarnated what was a heritage coffee brand that actually got started here, right?
Yes. Fleetwood Coffee was actually founded in Chattanooga in 1925 by a grocer, Henry King. And he really had the vision for coffee. He started roasting coffee downtown on King and 11th Street.
And you can still see the Fleetwood name on that building down on 11th Street.
Yeah.
What made you decide to bring back this particular coffee brand?
So the founder's grandson, Henry King's grandson, George McGee of
Right.
Lookout Mountain, had a vision to just see if he could resurrect his family's heritage coffee brand, and was kicking around and was able to acquire the intellectual property, which had been sold to Coca-Cola in basically right around 1969.
Right.
Okay, they actually purchased 6 of the U.S.'s largest roasters, including Fleetwood Coffee, and then phased it out. Didn't pursue the coffee business then.
But you pursued it.
Yes, I did.
And how long have you been in business since you first opened the Stone Cup?
97, 22 years.
Wow.
Yes.
I knew it had been a good while. I want to talk about what makes a good cup of coffee. Now, we have taken brand X that we serve here as a matter of routine and opened one of these up.
Yes.
And you can tell that, it's ground, it's powdery.
Yeah.
It's not anything that you would stock or carry. What makes this so much better than that?
So, how long do you have? How long is this segment? So a few critical things. Number one is the actual raw product. I brought a couple of these burlap bags. This is how we receive raw green coffee seeds.
Right.
Super high quality. Specialty grade is literally what it's called. So there's no defects in the beans, no sticks, stones, no fungus, no weirdness whatsoever.
You have showed
that's
me
the beginning.
these when I've been over to your plant before, and it's amazing when you look at what some people would consider a better coffee off the shelf bean-wise, and then you grab a handful of what you've got, and it's like incredible.
Night and day. Yeah,
incredible.
like black versus green is the raw. And then the way we roast it, we have this really nice vintage German roaster that lets us develop the flavors. Myself and my roaster will work to make sure we're bringing out the highlight of each bean, and then immediately going into fresh packaging with a valve, and then just working to help educate people to brew coffee properly, because everything can go wrong in the final minutes.
That can be a big issue. Now let's talk about the proper brewing process. Obviously, you need good water.
Yes, that's appropriate.
Which
yes.
you do have good water,
Yeah.
and then you have to have the good product. So what's the biggest mistake a lot of folks make at home when they're trying to brew their own?
I would say a big mistake is that they don't use enough coffee to brew. The perfect recipe that's established by the Specialty Coffee Association and tons of palates around the world is exactly 12 grams per 8-ounce cup of coffee. I'm a licensed quality grader, which means that I have a certification, one of a few thousand around the world, that sort of can dictate the coffee quality levels and judge them against criteria. I say all that to say that recipe is perfect, and if it's too weak, if you use half of that, you're going to have a bitter, watery cup.
When you started out on Fraser Avenue and you were having your business plan formulated, did you look 22 years down the road and think, I'm going to be doing all of this? Was that a goal, or was this kind of a byproduct that you found yourself in?
Yeah, it has been an interesting byproduct. My goal was always to just hand people a great cup of coffee across the counter. Fleetwood's been challenging because I'm limited to what's sitting on the grocery store shelf, and all the information I have and all the qualities amalgamated into the packaging and the price, which is it's a value.
Sure.
$6.99 for a 12-ounce bag. It's like less than 20 cents a cup of coffee. And so I love sharing great coffee and seeing people get it. And so that's why I want to tell everyone I can about Fleetwood Coffee, not so they'll buy it, but so they can experience it.
Sure. This is great coffee, and I've had several cups this morning. It's heads and tails, apples and oranges. It's a whole different ballgame.
It is. It really is. And the reason is you are literally dealing with a different agricultural product that's treated so very differently. And oftentimes commercial coffee can get very stale, and
Right.
you know, it's just like looking at the apple selection at the grocery store. If you've got one with a bruise on it, you're not going to get that one. But in coffee, you can have that bruised bean in your cup, and you'll taste it.
And now you've got something, you have Fleetwood Coffee that is available in K-Cups.
Yep. Fleetwood Coffee is in the single-serve cups, and we actually have those in Publix stores all across Tennessee. So that's
You should
a
call
great
these
place.
J-Cups.
Yeah,
Just
okay,
think of the
done.
whole idea. J-Cups. These are available in Publix. Are there any other retailers that we can get
Sure.
these out?
Sure. Food City carries our ground coffee, and then Costco will be carrying our 2-pound bags of beans.
I'm just curious, how big are the K-Cups taking off now from your perspective?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I've got a Keurig at home, and I like having a cup of coffee ready to go in 30
Yeah,
seconds.
it definitely spoiled us.
Is this
I
a
mean,
good investment for you?
It's 40% of the grocery market shelf in coffee, so it's pretty much like a
Wow.
requirement.
So you gotta have it.
Yeah, and I love that we can have coffee so quickly and easily, but you know, it just is challenging. We're paying 69 cents for a cup of coffee
Mm-hmm.
like this versus somewhere between 11 to 20 cents for
Right.
a cup of coffee you've brewed.
There's, well, you do have to pay for the convenience, there's no doubt about that. But the difference, the taste, it is so worth it. We wish you all the best in the world.
Thank you so much.
And some of our crew in the back has got some other great coffee-related ideas. You need to try this Fleetwood Coffee if you haven't tried it out, because at one point it was the #1 coffee on in the railway system here in the southern United
Our
States.
dining car.
Pretty cool.
blend is
Check it
getting
out.
better
Where
at
can
that.
we find out more about International Coffee Group?
Well, I think the best place would go to fleetwoodcoffee.com,
Mm-hmm.
and then our Instagram is pretty exciting with @FleetwoodCoffee1925.
All right, Jennifer Stone, thank you very much. And we thank you for joining us as well. More of Let's Chat straight ahead.